wanting to start a new series for quite some time, and I just wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to lay it out, but I've taken some time to really think about these things, and I wanted to talk about the things I wish that I knew when I started my small business. I want to say that I don't have a super thriving business or anything like that. There are a few reasons that I think that, like a few reasons why I don't think that my business has excelled in the way that I want it to. And so I'm going to talk about a little of those things, but also, hi Remy, but also talk about like things that I wish I just would have thought about before I started my small business. Don't get me wrong, I'm really happy that I decided to just go for it, but I wish I just would have put a little bit more thought into it before I did go for it. But either way, like, I think that if you want to do it, you should go for it. But hopefully these things kind of help you if you're wanting to start your small business and kind of don't know where to start. It's going to be a couple different parts, and I'm not sure if I'm going to post them all at one time or break them up. Remy, you want to say hi? Hi. So the first one is that it might seem obvious, but it's going to be very time consuming. It is going to be something that you are going to need to look at as a full-time job. Basically, you get what you put into it. If you just want something part-time, it might be okay just spend a little bit every couple days on your small business. But if you really want it to thrive and become your full-time job, you've got to put the work into it. I did want it to be a full-time job. It's not my full-time job. I wanted it to be, but I just didn't have the time to be able to devote to it. But you want to treat it as a real job. Like, you want to put time into it. Like, you put 40 hours a week into your regular full-time job, your 9 to 5, you are going to need to put just as much, if not more, into your small business. There's so many things now that you have to look at when you are creating a small business, when you have a small business. It's not just you list products and people buy them. You now have to think about your social media presence. You have to film content for social media. There's so much more now than there was when I started 14 years ago. It's probably not gonna blow up overnight, which is okay. Because then if you start out slowly and you build it into something super big or whatever you want, some people want it to stay a small business. It's probably not gonna happen overnight, but through that, you can learn the things that you want to focus more on. Even though it is going to be a lot of work, it's going to be hard, it's going to be overwhelming sometimes, but it is going to be so rewarding. You're going to have so much fun, and you need to remember that you need to have fun with this. I think that with any job, you should be able to have a little bit of fun. It shouldn't be something that you are like, do it. It needs to be something that fills your cup. One thing that I wish that I would have had before I started was a plan. I wish I would have had a plan. I wish I would have mapped out exactly what I wanted from this business, how I wanted it to grow, what I wanted from it. I just wish I had more of a plan. I wish I would have taken the time to sit down and just write everything out, because I kind of just was like, well, I wanted to start a small business for a while, but social media wasn't as big back then. I didn't have all of these resources when I started, and I wish I would have. I wish like I could have thought about my branding, how I'll handle customer complaints if I get any, taxes, just everything. I wish I had written down all of the questions that I had and researched the answers. I wish I would have had more of a plan, but my plan was just start an Etsy and list stuff. That was the extent of it. which is okay because I did it. I think that if I would have taken more time to think about it, maybe I would have chickened out. I don't know, but I just wish I would have done more research. The other thing I really want to talk about is that consistency is key. And I think that for me, for my business, consistency is what I lacked for so long and still kind of do sometimes because it is my small business. It's not my 9 to 5. I don't always treat it as a job. And I think that is where I kind of fall short. I'm not consistent with my posting. I'm not consistent with videos, social media videos. I just wish I would have been more consistent. And that is something that going into the new year, I am trying really hard to be more consistent, post more regularly, have more like product launches. It's very, very, very important to be consistent. I think algorithms anywhere, if you are consistent, they promote you a little bit more. I know with like YouTube, TikTok, anything, if you're not consistent, you don't go anywhere. And I think it's the same with a small business. You have to be consistent in order to achieve the results that you want. You have to do it despite the personal struggles that you go through, despite being tired, despite your full-time job if you have one, despite being sick. Like, you have to keep going. And you especially have to keep going even when that like negative self-talk kind of gets in your head, because it will. You just have to keep going. You have to do it no matter what. I mean, obviously within reason, but you cannot treat it like, oh, I am tired, I don't want to work on it today. Like, you have to just keep going. You have to do it. There's going to be a lot of self-doubt. If you follow any business that was like, nope, never had it, they are lying. No matter what, I have self-doubt. Like, I wouldn't say like I have a super successful business, but I have had my business for years and it doesn't matter. I constantly am doubting myself with my business. Every time I create a listing or package an order, I'm like, oh, I hope it's good enough. Like, I know it's good enough, but that self-doubt is like, maybe it's not. And so you have to keep going through that. It's very, very important. It is so hard, but it is so worth it, because people will post about your product and they're like, oh my gosh, I love it. And you're just like, they love my product. And you do, like, you see that meme where it's like, oh, a small business does a happy dance when you, I really do. I'm like, oh, they love it. Oh, they ordered. And it might sound silly, but it is what it is. Like, I'm so excited to put these things out there, and it makes me that more excited and proud of myself that people love the product that I do put out there. So I would say my main like takeaways, I have 4 of them, is know that you are going to have to work really hard. It is going to require hard work. Number 2, be consistent. That one is super, super important. You need to be consistent, especially in this day and age. You have to be consistent. And then I say 3, have a plan. Like, make sure you know what you want out of it. Write all these things down. Just have a plan. And I think that if you have a plan, whether it be like, okay, a posting schedule or anything like that, it's gonna help you to stay consistent if you follow those things. And the 4th one is to believe in yourself and know that you can do it. I believe in you, and I think you can do it.